الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. أما بعد. Today, inshallah, I'd like to talk about manners, akhlaq. I'd like to talk about those individuals, Muslims, whether they are revert to Islam or they was born Muslim, but before they was with Salafi pubs, they had good manners, and after they mixed with Salafi pubs, or they got with Salafi pubs and their associates, they start be having bad manners and harsh behavior. This is a hadith عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال, narrated by Abu Hurairah رضي الله عنه, may Allah be pleased with him, that he said, the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, من كان يؤمن بالله ويوم الآخر فيقول خيرا أو ليصمت. He said, the Messenger of Allah صلى الله عليه وسلم, whoever believes in Allah on the last day, for either him to say something good, or remain silent. And he said, وَمَنْ كَانَ يُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ وَيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ فَيُكْرِمْ جَارَهُ. Whoever believes in Allah in the last days, that he honor his neighbor. وَمَنْ كَانَ يُؤْمِنُ بِاللَّهِ وَيَوْمِ الْآخِرِ فَيُكْرِمْ ضَيْفَهُ. Whoever believes in Allah in his last days, that he will honor his guest. He will honor his guest. There's other narrations, plenty of them. For example, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يحب لأخيه ما يحب لنفسه. That you won't have complete faith until you love for yourself or want for yourself what you want for your brother in Islam. There's many other hadith, many other collection of hadith, verses in Quran. إنما مؤمنون إخوة. Indeed, the believers are brothers. And there's other virtues in the Quran related to the brotherhood and wanting good for the next Muslim and having good manners. But I mentioned this particular hadith first from Abi Hurairah radiallahu anhu, when he said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Man kana yu'minu billahi wa yawm al-akhir fayaqulu khayrun aw yusmut." To speak, if whoever believes in Allah on the last day, to say something that is khair, say something that is good, or remain silent. And the reason why I found this particular hadith, or I'm using this particular hadith for today, is because it's related to many of those Muslims who claim to be upon da'wah to Salafiyya, but they're very harsh and have bad manners with their brothers and sisters in Islam. There's another hadith. حُرِمَ عَلَى النَّارِ كُلُّ هَيٍّ وَلَيْهٍ وَسَحَلْ قَرِيبٍ إِلَى النَّاسِ. There's another hadith. It says, حُرِمَ عَلَى النَّارِ, what is forbidden for the fire. حُرِمَ عَلَى النَّارِ كُلُّ هَيٍّ. Everything that is hayyin. Hayyin means in Arabic that somebody is easygoing with himself. With himself, he's easygoing. Layyin. Layyin means he is nice, easygoing. Latif, binas. Rifq, binas. Rifq, bi-iqwa. He's easygoing, nice, gentle, lenient with other peoples. Sahal, easygoing. Qarib al-nas, meaning that he's easy to deal with the people. It's easy to approach people. People can approach him. People could deal with him. Alright, so we have many hadith related to akhlaq, manners, and how to be with another Muslim. Why I mention these hadith today? I mention these hadith today because today I want to address specifically those Muslims who claim or who follows Salafi publication, their associates, who find themselves, for example, before they became to this understanding of Islam from these people's perspective of what is Salafi dawah, but it become shadid, become severe with the people, harsh with the people, harsh with Muslims in general. You'll find them harsh on the Muslim, while easygoing on the disbeliever. And that's one of the attributes of the hypocrites. The attribute of the hypocrite is that he is harsh with the Muslims, but easygoing with the disbelievers. Right? Now, when I mention this about Salafi pubs and the associates, because I used to be like them. Before I went to seek knowledge, I used to be a lot like these individuals. So I find many people today that if you disagree with Salafi pubs on a point, not talking about a point in Aqidah, because Aql Sunnah wa Jama'ah and our Aqidah is clear. But those individuals who follow Salafi pubs, someone disagree with something they do related to their etiquettes, related to their manners, how to deal with people, they have nasty attitudes. And I have been not a victim of this, but I have myself attacked people or insulted people or had bad manners with people because I'm thinking this manner or the way I'm behaving, this is part of the Salafi dawah, which is not. What is Salaf to Salah? As I mentioned, Al-Salafiyya, I mentioned yesterday in another video, is related to what? Is related to what? Is related to the Kitab and the Sunnah, right? As the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, khayru ummati qarni, thumma alladhina yalunahum, thumma alladhina yalunahum. He said the best of the ummah, ummah al-Islam, he said is what? My nation, and those that follow after them, and those that follow after them. Right? So we understand what is the Salaf to Salah. It's mean the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions and those who came after from the Tabi'un, like this, so on and so forth. So we understand these are the examples. These are the examples of the model. And the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to perfect the etiquettes of the people. He came to perfect the etiquettes of the people. And we look at the seerah, وَفِي سِيرَةِ النَّبِي صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ, and the biography of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we look at before he got nabuwah, before he got the wahi, before he got the revelations from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that the Messenger of Allah, from the hadith of Khadija radiallahu anhu, which is from the first chapter in Bukhari, related to the revelations, al-wahi, that when the revelations came to him, when Jibril alayhi salam came to him, fi Ghar Hira, while he's in Ghar Hira, we look at what did Khadija, the mother of the believers, what did she say to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You can see the etiquettes of the manners of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam before prophethood came to him. So we look briefly, and I'm gonna try to look for it real quick. Right? So look, I'm looking in Bukhari. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said in his narration, Zamiluni, cover me, right? After he seen, when he met with Jibril alayhi salam. Then he went to Khadija and he said these things, cover me. He was frightened. What Aisha said to us? He says, Qala wallahi ma yukzika Allahu abadan. He said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never forsake you or allow something bad to happen to you. Right? Innaka la tasilu rahim. She said, you are a person who have like honor, mercy. She said, nay, by Allah will never disgrace you. You keep good relationships with your kith and kin. You help the poor and the destitute. You serve your guests generously, and you assist the deserving or the versing or devising calamity afflicted ones. So you help those individuals who are afflicted, those who are in hardship. So this is the characteristic of the Prophet ﷺ before prophethood. He had very noble, his attributes are very noble before prophethood, and they increased when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him revelations. When the revelations came to him, when Allah started educating him teaching him. His manners became better. So this is what I'm going to say to the Muslim. If you was Muslim and you came to Salafi Dawah, or you convert to Islam and you came to Salafi Dawah, or according to how Salafi pubs say what is Salafiyah, and you had some good manners before you came there, and when you got mixed with them, that you start having bad manners, you start being shadid, or you was a Muslim, or you was a Muslim before, and you came to Islam, and you start having bad manners, then you have to go back now and reflect yourself. When the truth comes to an individual, he doesn't become more harsh, he doesn't have nasty manners, rather yet his manners become more perfected. His manners are very similar to the manners of the Prophet ﷺ and his companions. So when the haqq comes to you and Islam comes to you, it perfects you. It perfects your manners. It makes you a better person. It makes you have a person with better manners. Because this is the sign of the Islam and the sign of the truth. So if you follow in Salafi pubs and you become more harsh with the people, even if individuals that you see who are Muslim will have mistakes with them, will have errors with them, doesn't mean that you are more harsh with them. And I'm speaking from experience, because I used to be on this rant, just like many of the people who follow Salafi pubs who are not busy into Talab al-Ilm. And the reality is they're not busy with Talab al-Ilm. They're not seeking ilm of the ulama. They haven't went to no scholar and learned Islam. Because if you went to a scholar and you learned Islam, the first thing you learn from any scholar in Islam is their manners. Anybody who steps into the field of a realm of Talab al-Ilm, whether you're strong in Arabic language or not, the first thing you start realizing from the sheikh, especially if you live around him, or you see when he's going to the masjid, when you see how he behaves outside the masjid, the first thing you start seeing and you start learning, without even understanding a lot of Arabic, you start seeing the behavior of the sheikh and how he behaves himself, and how he have good manners, and how he have good akhlaq. So when I read to you how Khadija radiallahu anha, when the Prophet ﷺ came to her, after Jibril came to him and he was scared and he said to cover me up, she said, Allah will not disgrace you. Allah will not disgrace you. You honor those people who are destitute. You help the orphan, the poor, and the destitute, those people who have needs and wants. You honor them. You honor them. So how can a person claim he's coming to Salafiyya Dawah, now he becoming harsh? This is the Prophet ﷺ before a Nabuwah, before the prophethood was given to him. And after the prophethood was given to him, his manners and his behavior increased. If the Prophet had bad manners, how people were going to come to Islam? If you have bad manners, how people are going to come to the truth? If you claim you Salafiyya and you follow Salafi pubs and you follow these associates with them, and you find yourself having bad manners, calling people names, insulting people, calling people names, himar, donkey, qalb, dog, zindiq, zindiq, this is a very harsh word. I hear brothers saying this to people. Mubtada, and you're not from Ahlul Ilm, you can't even spell the word. So if you have bad manners and you're acting like this and your behavior is such like this, are you really implementing what the Prophet ﷺ was upon? I gave you the description of the Prophet before Nabuwah was given to him from the mouth of his wife Khadija radiallahu anha, where she said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not disgrace him because how his etiquette and he cared and he helped the poor and destitute and those who needed help. He honored them. He helped them. Then I showed you the hadith. Look at the hadith. The Messenger of Allah said after Nabuwah, what's the hadith? Let's look at it again. The Messenger of Allah said, "Man kana yu'minu billahi wa yawm al-akhir, fayaqul khayr, fayaqul khayran aw li yusmut," to speak good or remain silent. So look, the consistency of the Prophet ﷺ related to his manners and his etiquettes. And his manners and his etiquettes in dealing with people. There was a time Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, somebody was wronged him. And he was scolding. Or he was yelling. He was coming very ill-mannered with Abu Bakr. And Abu Bakr remained silent. And then the man continued. And Abu Bakr came and he started fighting, arguing with the guy back. And the Prophet ﷺ got up and he left. The Prophet ﷺ, he got up and he left. And Abu Bakr seeing something. Why did the Prophet get up and leave? So he asked him. He said, when you was arguing with the guy was arguing with you and you remained silent, like the angels was defending you. But when you start arguing back, it's like the shaitan came in between you two. And he said, I won't sit in the place where the shaitan come between the people. I won't sit in that place. So the Prophet came, and he came to perfect the akhlaq, the manners of the people. So if you claim you Salafi, how your manners is getting aswa, how your manners getting worse than before. If your manners be getting worse than before, then maybe the individual who's telling you about Salafiyah, like Salafi pubs, maybe they have the issues. Maybe they're not on the haqq. Maybe they're not on the truth. No one can come to Islam and then he said, I don't have to perfect my manners. Now people get in arguments. People get in quarrels. That is part of human nature. To get in a quarrel, to get in a disagreement, and get in an argument and debating. That's part of the human nature. But sooner or later, when you get into an argument, or you get into a debate, or you're arguing with somebody, there's some point or time you're going to have to give up the bad manners. If it comes out, then sometimes you're going to ask a person to pardon you. There's time you're going to have to just step out. Now, if you arguing and you debating for the haqq, and you use wisdom, and you use hikmah, and you use good speech, and mindful speech, because in Islam and giving advice is the time to be soft, and it's the time to be harsh. There's a time to be soft, and there's a time to be harsh when it's related to manners and giving people, when it's related to giving people good advice. Some people can't take advice soft. There's some people, I know that personally, there's some people, you can't, if you say some nice advice to them in a nice, sweet way, they act like they ignore you. They act like what you're saying doesn't have no value. If you argue with them and you're kind of harsh, and you use stern language, meaning not bad language, stern language, maybe the person would sit back and realize that, hey, maybe I need to change my ways. So there's times to be soft and giving advice, and there's time to be severe or a little harsh and giving advice. But I'm talking about people who have bad manners all the time dealing with people. On the clouts, and they're having bad manners, or they possess these bad manners, ill manners, they're thinking because there are propagating a Salafiyah, or they take in the cause of saving the Sunnah and being or rebuking innovation. So they find themselves harsh with the ahwam. For the general people, they're harsh with everybody they see. And I'm speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from something that I just observed. I'm speaking for experience. So I'm talking about, I'm addressing all these people who follow Salafi publication from UK and their associates. I've been in the cloud, or been in the cloud with these individuals, and I see. You go to one of their masjids, many times you gotta look at the person, look at them. Even the way you look at people, we don't know you. Who's this? I even met brothers, elderly, part of this group, elderly, on their deathbed, still have this bad manners and this rant. And they have no knowledge. And that's the worst thing about it. They think they're on the haqq, they think they're on the truth. They don't even have juz amma memorized from Quran. They don't know no Arabic language. They never studied Islam with a sheikh. Never. And they be on their deathbed, or be sick, or they be ill. And may Allah save us from this. And they still have these rants and these bad manners, and they thinking they have these bad manners, and the rant they be on. All this is for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Salafi dawah. This is falsehood. This is not Salafi dawah. This is not Salafi dawah. That's not Salafi dawah. Calling people mubtada. Everybody who disagree with you is a mubtada. That's not Salafi dawah. I seen a brother like this on his deathbed, sick, cancer, have no ilm. And I'm saying to myself, man, this guy's going to meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, calling some Muslim a mubtada. Calling a Muslim a mubtada. Because he himself was making a claim he have no knowledge, never sat with the ulama, never studied, don't even know Arabic language, barely can read the Quran properly. Met many people, and sisters too, like this, sick, have sickness, have illness, sick, have cancer, have chronic illness on their deathbed, sick, at the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they think that because they have bad manners with somebody who disagree with them, in the name of Salafiyah, that's not Salafiyah. That's not Salafiyah. Show me where there's Salafiyah that you call people bad names and you call people ill names. La yaslu qawma min al-qawm. You read Quran? Huh? Sukriya. Huh? You read Quran, Surah Al-Hujurat? Huh? Do you read this? Al-Laqab. Allah says don't call people by bad names. And Sukriya, making fun of people. This is in Quran. Don't backbite people. This is in Quran. So how you think you on a rant, refuting people, calling people bad names? This is Dawah to Salafiyah. Who told you this? Because Abu Khadija does this? Because you seen Dawudi does this? Because you see some Sheikh in Saudi like Sheikh Ubaidul Jabli done this with somebody? That's not a hujjah in Islam. Because some Sheikh said this word or an ill word to somebody, that's not a hujjah in Islam that is allowed to use this terminology. And then people who don't like it, yeah, Sheikh Ubaidul Jabli, he said things like that to people and it's recorded on YouTube. And this is why a lot of brothers, they get it. Oh, if Sheikh Ubaid done it, then I could do it. Calling Sheikh Yahya Iblis. That is the takfir against the Sheikh. That is takfir against the Sheikh, calling somebody Iblis. Calling the people in one country, Himar, donkeys. He said this on the internet. And people see this, and they think this is Salafiyah, so if the Sheikh could do it, it's okay for me to behave like this. This is not. Allah says the opposite in Quran. The Quran is the hujjah. The Quran is the proof, not what the Sheikh say or what the Sheikh do, especially if they contradict the Book of Allah. And this is not to put Sheikh Yahya, Sheikh Ubaid al-Jabi out there, but he is a scholar. I respect him. I benefit from his works. While we understand and see if a Sheikh fall into something with another Sheikh, then we understand that you take the side of the haq. If the Sheikh do something, or he mistaken, and he say something he shouldn't say, doesn't mean that this is the model now that we follow. This doesn't mean now this is the model that we follow now. If another Sheikh, he used these terms, there even people who I've seen brothers promote videos of people who refute Sheikh Rabi'a Hafidullah. And Sheikh Rabi'a Hafidullah, he's from the Kiwala Ulima. So I'm not going to really talk about his affairs, but he's from the major scholars. I seen them personal on YouTube, on YouTube in UK, making some videos, talk about Sheikh Rabi, and he's using filthy curse words. And this guy is Arab. He's not Al-Ajami. He's not a non-Arab. He's Arab. And number one, and he appears that he understands the religion. So people take and they promote this video of this person, and he's saying filthy words. Filthy words. He's saying curse words in English, and he's thinking this is a normal language. And he's talking about a scholar that he disagreed with using filthy words. That's the other side of the coin, or the other side of the people who disagree with Salafi pubs and they're thinking. Also, some of them use the harsh language or the filthy language. None of this stuff is acceptable in Islam. This is not acceptable in Islam. Nowhere Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow you to use this type of filthy words. Even some of the companions said insulting words to the disbelievers. That is true. Some of the companions, not filthy words, insulting words. In fighting jihad, some of them did use insults to the kuffar or the disbelievers in the cause of Allah and the fighting. But we're talking about Muslims dealing with another Muslim. A Muslim dealing with another Muslim. So you find those Muslims, for example, before they came to Salafi Dawah, there was a regular Muslim. Maybe they didn't have a lot of knowledge. Maybe they recognize as Salafiyas to be the truth. But they start hooking up with people like Salafi pubs, their associates, those who use bad names, insulting names of people, shadid with people, severe, harsh with people, and they think this is Salafiyah. You're not part of Salafiyah unless you picked up these characters. This is nothing to do with Salafi Dawah or what is Salafiyah. Salafiyah is related to and restricted to as-Salaf al-Salih. That's what it's related to and restricted to, al-Nusus. The book and the Sunnah, the Quran and the Sunnah. So how a person now, he comes to Salafi Dawah, he is harsh. She is harsh. She used bad language. Don't want to give salams to people. Don't want to give salams to Muslims. Don't want to talk to certain Muslims. don't want to give people salams. You disagree with somebody, or they don't look like you, or they're not in your clique, or they're not part of your masjid or part of your clique, you become harsh with them. You say filthy names. I was witnessing somebody yesterday. They was talking to this guy online, Shadid Muhammad. And I'm not somebody who is promoting Shadid Muhammad. I'm not somebody who's going to say that the man is wicked. I'm not going to say the man doesn't know what he's talking about. I'm going to say the truth. The man is hurt, personally. I hear him speak. This guy, he's hurt. You know, Shadid Muhammad, I listened to him when he talked. He wasn't good for the people, but at the same time, he is scarred. He is hurt. He is hurt from the people he was with before. Salafi publication, their associates. He was with them for a long time. So they turned on him. So he's hurt. He's damaged. He's hurt. So some stuff he said, I take it with assault. It was related to them because he's hurt and he's damaged. And he's just, to me, he's scorned about them. But other things, teaching the tenets of the faith and the religion, he know what he's talking about. Right? Some of the things they fall into, he know what he's talking about. Right? So somebody says to him, you deviant, you this, you that, something like, some speech like this. And he said to the guy, if I'm deviant, if I'm like this, then why are you in the room listening to me? Why are you saying these things to me? And that's what and this is the point I'm trying to make. If you don't like a person like Shadid Muhammad, and this isn't the video, has nothing to do with defending him or his statements or whatever, that's on him. But if you don't like him, you claiming you on Salafi Dawah, when you want to give advice to people, or you want to give advice or refute some statement, do it with manners and etiquettes. Because if you don't do it with manners, and you don't do it with etiquettes, and you're not sincere, then that thing you're saying, that advice you're saying, it has no benefits. The person is not going to accept it. The person is not going to accept it. Imagine you go to the hospital, or you go to your doctor, and you're sick, and you have an illness, and the doctor turns around and tells you, you stupid. Do you feel, you're going to feel hurt? Huh? Imagine you go to the doctor, you have a sickness, and the doctor turns around and says to you, yo, dummy, you're going to die, you stupid. How would that make you feel? You know, when you go to the doctor, look at the doctor. And this is somebody now in the medical field. When you go to the doctor and you have some illness or sickness or emergency, a good doctor, you don't see how he talks to you? He's very friendly. If it's a bad situation or a sad situation, he try to make you feel comfortable. He try to make you feel comfortable. They're going to tell you how they're going to address the issue. And they're going to tell you the outcome hopefully is going to be good. And they're going to mention we're looking for the good outcome. This is how the doctor talks to the client. In the field of medicine, the one who is sick, how he talks to him. Because he knows if he says something sad to the guy, or something that doesn't benefit him in his speech, he might weaken his morality. Might cause his sickness and illness to get worse. So look how the doctor deal with the client. So you're talking about now in Islam and giving dawah, we don't have the same type of manners. We have better manners than the doctor. We have better manners than the doctor. So when I talk about Salafi pubs and their bad manners, I'm also talking about those people who claim Salafiyah, but in opposition to Salafi pubs, you also is not excluded from having having good manners. You're not excluded. You can't have bad manners also. If Salafi publications and those people who follow them, their associates, if they're knowing or they're exposing people's sins, misrepresenting what people say, it's not permissible for you to do the same thing about them. It's not permissible. Like somebody said about some guy in Philly or New Jersey, oh, so-and-so came to the match and said they got me pregnant, something like this. And they mentioned the person's name. This is not permissible in Islam. Even though the person that you're talking about, he has some issues. Now, if you was warning a person was an open sinner, fornicating with everybody, and you need to have a hujjah, proof in Islam for a person being a fornicator, the eyewitness, I can't go around and say now this person, he's like this, and this now he's my enemy, so everything goes. What the Sharia say goes out the door? Now we on the streets. We do how people do things in the street. This is Islam. This is not Islam. So that goes for Salafi pubs followers and those people who's against Salafi pubs and what they be doing, but at the same time they have bad manners. Huh? The Prophet ﷺ said, whoever believes in Allah in the last day, for yaqulu khayran, huh? That you say good, aw li yusmut, or you remain silent. And he's giving emphasis in Arabic. This emphasis, the lam in the beginning of the word, that's the emphasis. Alright? Or be quiet. Be quiet. It's giving some type of emphasis or sababiyya or reasoning. So you must remain silent. You must be quiet. Say good or remain quiet. That's the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. To say something good, and if you can't, remain silent. And then back to the believers, and you're dealing with another Muslim. So he's not Salafi. Somebody sent me a message a few days ago. Somebody I haven't spoken to a long time. Alright? So somebody sent me a message. I haven't spoken to this person maybe in a year or so. And the person said, oh, you refer somebody to me. So they said in the message, paraphrasing. I want to mention the person's name. Maybe they hear this. It says, Salaam alaikum. Somebody came to me and they said that, asked me for some advice, and they mentioned that you mentioned some good things, for example, about me, whatever. So the person said, oh, don't do this. And it's something, the message was negative, right? I don't want to repeat word to word, right? The message was negative. If the person's mad, because I send somebody to them, and that person, who I send to them, is saying that I speak good about you, how you going to send me a negative message? And then the person ends the letter with Jazakumullahu khairan. And this is why I mention this, because I find a lot of brothers and sisters who follow Salafi pubs on this way. This is their manners. And this is why I want to make the video, because a lot of Muslims are like that. Even some peers, my own peers, and I talk to them and I address them. Right? So I said to the person, do you understand what Assalamu alaikum mean? And this is the problem with many people. We claim Salafiyah. We don't know Arabic language. We don't understand the things that we're saying. I said, when you say the salam, or when you give the Muslim salam, this is you making dua for them. This is you making the dua. You're supplicating for this particular person, that Allah brings them good and bring the brotherhood and the sisterhood very tight in Islam. Then the person end the letter with Jazakumullahu khairan. And I said to myself, and I said to the person, how then you say this? Negative message at the end, you say Jazakumullahu khairan. May Allah give you good. Even the shaykh, even some of the mashaykh, when people have bad manners with them, they're going to get the salam. They're going to say what they want to say. They're going to make dua for them. They're going to say, may Allah give you tawfiq. Look at the hikmah. What tawfiq mean? In the same time, he's giving you advice, but he's not belittling you, but he's letting you know your understanding of Islam is sufficient. So may Allah give you tawfiq. What tawfiq means? Success. Understanding the religion. And tawfiq means they're able to understand the religion. So if you have some shortcoming in something, the Shaykh going to say, may Allah give you tawfiq. So the shortcoming that you have, may Allah give you something, replace this ignorance with what is khair and what is good from the deen and what is from the Islam. He give this to you. So when a person sends a message to me like that, negative, right? I don't know how to even respond sometimes. Because when you respond back to people like this sometimes, you got to sit back, you got to think, when you see something like this, what is their level of understanding in Islam? What is their level of understanding in Islam in the Arabic language? And the person claims Salafiyah. This is something, I'm not saying you can't claim this, but it's hard when a person, they claim to be Salafi, but they have no Arabic language. They don't study the religion. They don't sit with a scholar. They're only restricted to books. And they still have bad manners. So sometimes it's hard to address them, but you have to address them with hikmah, wisdom. Hikmah and wisdom. People should study 40 hadith Imam Nawawi rahimahullah. Wallahi. You need to study the 40 hadith of Imam Nawawi. Anybody who wants to be a student of knowledge, or claim to be Salafi, wallahi, you need to go back to the books of etiquettes and adab in Islam. And I'm talking about people in America, in the West, in Canada, UK. I'm talking about these brothers and sisters. Wallahi, you need to go to the books of the Islam and the Sunnah. Goes back to the books of the etiquettes of seeking knowledge. There's many books. Now, all not translated in English, but there's many books talk about seeking knowledge because they talk about etiquettes and manners. Because if you have bad manners, how are people going to accept advice from you? If you're a da'i and you have bad manners, how are people going to accept the truth from you? How are people going to accept the truth from you? Huh? You know, a lot of scholars say, I'm paraphrasing Sheikh Saleh Fawzan, Hafidullah. He said, who you take knowledge from? Right? So the Sheikh says, in one of his lectures, that you take knowledge for a person who is an alim and fear Allah. He said, an alim and fear Allah. He said, if the person is not an alim, but fear Allah, you don't take knowledge from him because he doesn't have knowledge. No matter how much he fear Allah, he doesn't have knowledge. And the good example of that is a hadith of the man who killed 99 people when he asked the monk who was religious but he had no knowledge, it is tawbah for me. He said no. He ended up killing him. So because he was religious doesn't mean that he has knowledge. Then the Sheikh says, but the person, he has knowledge, but he don't fear Allah. He don't fear Allah. You don't take knowledge from him. Why? Because he don't fear Allah. So he's going to misguide you. So he said the alim must what? Have knowledge and fear Allah. These two conditions. Huh? These two conditions. Huh? Knowledge and fear Allah. So somebody asked me here, I'm reading the comments, I'm sorry, I don't pay attention to all the comments. He said, it means that you are safe from harm from me. Oh, when you give the salam, yes. Yes. When you give the salams, yes. Huh? Salima. Huh? The Muslim, he is safe from another Muslim. Min lisanihi wa yadihi. From his tongue and from his hand. He is safe from him. This is a hadith. Huh? The Muslim is safe from another Muslim. From his what? His tongue and his hand. That is Salafiyah. That is Salafiyah. So I don't care how much you love Salafi publication, how much you love their associates, how much somebody disagree with them, and how you feel with your rants and your screaming and your shouting and your filthy language and calling people names. Do you represent Salafiyah when you're acting like this? Do you represent a da'wah to Salafiyah or Islam? I said in the video yesterday or day before yesterday, and Islam is Salafiyah. Are you representing Islam this way when you behave this way in this manner? Huh? Are you Salafi when you behave this way in this manner? Are you really Salafi? Are you really Muslim? Are you really practice Islam? Are you really? What is Salafiyah? Is this a title? I believe yesterday I read yesterday from Sheikh Fawzan, a book related to the ethics. Look, ethics, seeking knowledge. The ethics. I entitled manners. I titled it ethics of seeking knowledge. Right? But here he talked more about the ethics of seeking knowledge. He really talked about a lot of manners. It was a short lecture, talk about the ethics, how to seek knowledge. We look at many books in seeking ilm, you're going to talk about manners, how to have manners, what type of manners to have, what are the manners for the student of knowledge, what are the manners of students of hadith, what is the manners for a faqih, what are the manners and the etiquettes, right? So he said in the lecture yesterday, talk about the ethics of seeking knowledge. He said what? He said what? What I read? Oh, the Sheikh said, oh, we say we Salafi, or I'm Salafi, or we follow the Salaf. And he said what? It's imperative that you follow the Salaf from what? Their methodology. And you're only going to understand this is by what? Seeking knowledge. Seeking knowledge. Seeking knowledge. Now, people have shortcomings. Everybody has shortcomings. We're human beings. Every human being has a shortcoming. You're going to fall short. You're going to say something rude to somebody one day. You're going to say something you shouldn't say. People have mistakes. People make mistakes. But learn from your mistakes. And don't keep on committing the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over. and over. So back to the example, the doctor. The doctor. When the doctor's in a hospital, most doctors, or majority of the doctors, when they deal with the patient, look at the words they use. Now, I have met doctors who said things to me was rude and blunt and wanted to knock the heck out of them and stuff, you know. I've been to the doctor and said some stuff, or the hospital. That happens like the majority of the time, the hospital. But I remember my mother, she went to the hospital a few years ago. And my mother, she's diabetic. Right? And my mom, and this is New York. And my mom is very hard to deal with. You know, she's elderly. She's very rude at times. It's very hard to deal with, right? So when in our hospital, she's blunt, she's rude, she's very blunt, and it's very rude. So the doctors see this. Some of them, you know, they're hesitating to really try to help her because she's being rude and blunt. So some guy, my mom is black, the doctor is white. He's some southern guy. He's some down south like her, right? He come up to her, and he country just like my mom. She country, he country too, and he start talking to her in a way country people understand. About what's wrong with her. She had some stuff on her legs, and she said this is something from diabetics. When you be eating too much candy and sweet stuff and stuff you shouldn't be eating, and he explaining to her what happened if you keep on eating like that, how the things will grow up the body because it's destroying the veins in the system, or the veins in your body because of diabetes, and he's showing her how it will move up. So you have to eat healthy and eat, you know, what diabetic people need to eat, like vegetables and things like that. And my mom took his advice. She would listen to the guy when she was being very blunt and rude with the other doctors. Because his approach, he was country just like she was country. And you know exactly how I talk. He had that southern attitude from down south, with that southern hospitality. He was talking to her, and she listened. And my mom, you know, she's from down south, but she can be a very rude New Yorker, right? She's very, because she's been in New York since she's 18. She's like in her 70s, but she can be a very rude and blunt New Yorker. So sometimes when people come with you, harshness or bad manners or disagree with you, it doesn't mean that you respond back with them with the same type of manners. Now, if they ask you some questions that's ridiculous, or a question that is to put you out of pocket or to make you look foul, then you can ask them the same type of question in the same type of manner and see if they like it. You know, it's some wisdom in dealing with people. So back to those individuals who come to Salafiyah, you know, or have bad manners. I met a companion of mine from Bangladesh. Our brother from Bangladeshi, young. And I remember him very well. I told him he used to always come to the masjid when he was a little kid, young. And then now he's on Salafi Dawah. So I told him he picked up some manners and attitude that has dealt with a lot of African American brothers and sisters related to who follow Salafi pubs. So one day I put him to the side. I said, Aki, you know, the people from your culture don't have these bad manners. So they don't have this bad man. I said, Salafiyah doesn't mean that you must be black, American, and you must have the black American social ills. Who told you this? I told him, who told you have to have these social ills that my people have? Who told you need to have this? This is not part of Salafiyah. I told him just like that. This is not part of Salafiyah. I said, your peoples don't even have this issue. So why are you going to, now you're going to come to Salafiyah when you was born Muslim, your parents taught you very good Islamic etiquette and manners when you was a child because you have religious parents. So now you come to Salafiyah, you're going to rid yourself of these good manners that your Muslim parents taught you. No matter if they have some issues in their aqidah or they have some issues in their minhaj, but they taught you some basic Islamic etiquette. He turned around to me and said, you know what, you're right. Then I told him those things from Salafi pubs and they follow where it comes from. And I told him straight up where it comes from. You know? I said, black people, we have a lot of self-hate and self-hatred. So that's why you see this group, this personality claiming Salafiyah, and that personality claiming Salafiyah. They all was together. Now they all fighting each other and arguing with each other. Because I said most black people, we don't know how to love each other. And we don't know how to work together. We just know how to fight amongst each other. And I said, if we wasn't Muslim, look at the non-Muslims in the street. That's exactly what the black people were doing in the street. They're fighting and shooting up each other. And there's a reason behind that. And I told them there's a reason behind that. So now they come to Islam, they never rid of themselves out these things. So this is why these different personalities, they refuted this guy, and that guy, and that guy. And I told him, you notice, all of them are black. I said, your peoples don't have this issue. So why you start having this issue? Your peoples don't have this bad manners. They don't do this to each other. Actually, y'all work together. You build your own masjid. So now you come to Salafiyya, you can start arguing, fighting with your family and your peoples. You have to have wisdom. Your mother and your father have something in Islam that is bid'ah or is an innovation in Islam. Have wisdom in giving them da'wah and make dua for them. And be patient with them. Maybe they come to the truth by your manners and your etiquettes. That is Salafiyya. That is Islam. I keep on saying Salafiyya is Islam. Not Salafiyya al-Hizb. Not Salafiyya al-Hizb. Alright, this is the call al-Hizb. Group. Or group. Partyism. Or partyship. Their clique. My crew. If you're with me, you're with me. Whoever's with me is with me. Whoever disagrees with me is against me. هذا Hizbiyya. هذه Hizbiyya. This is not Salafiyya. هذه Hizbiyya. Hizbiyya at its finest. So, how are you going to be a person born Muslim or converted to Islam, and you say, for example, and I've seen this example also, people who convert to Islam, might not know too much about the Sunnah, but they're like, I consider them like hippie Muslims. You ever met the people like hippie Muslim? Everything is good. Everything is happy. You meet Muslims like this. I met a lot of Muslims like this, especially outside of New York and Canada and stuff like that. I met Muslims like this. Hippies, like hippies. Everything is smiling and happy. MashaAllah. There's nothing wrong with that, being happy and stuff. But maybe they had some issue. They come to Salafiyya and they learned maybe some things they understood about Islam was incorrect, which is alhamdulillah. And they changed these things. But before they was Muslim, they was happy, hippie Muslims, smiling with people. Cheerful with people. Talking nice with people. And they come to Salafi pubs, understanding of Salafiyya. Now they start becoming harsh with people. And I've seen this many cases, many times. Becoming very harsh. Especially with sisters. Especially the women. Especially our sisters. The brothers for sure. Especially the sisters. Usually a woman, her nature, the woman's nature is soft. The woman's nature, it is soft. Look at the wisdom of the Prophet ﷺ when he said about marrying women. And I'm not speaking about the hadith, why a person marry a woman, and about marrying a woman is pious. The Prophet said to marry a woman who has the lovely heart. Lovely heart. Heart-loving woman. And a woman who has come from big family, meaning her mother had a lot of children. So that means that when you marry her, she has a lovely heart, and most likely because she has a lovely heart, beautiful heart, kind heart, it means that you're going to attract the man more to her, and you're going to have a lot of children with her because you're going to be very attracted to her due to her kind heart, lovely heart. So now sisters, how you come to Salafiyya and you become hard-hearted. And before you were Salafi, you was a soft, nice going sister. Huh? Now you come to Salafiyya, you're harsh. You're harsh. But before you was on Salafi Dawah, you was a nice, soft going sister. So, hey, what part of Islam is that you become shadid and harsh and bad manners? This is not Salafiyya. This is not Salafiyya. What is this? Good behavior. Now, everybody has shortcomings. Woman has shortcomings. And some of the shortcomings of the woman, she has some excuse for it. Like things related to her menses. PMS, we call it. Right? The attitude. That's understood. That is a natural thing and understood. Woman gets pregnant, gets cranky, and her menses get cranky. Attitude. Wife acts stupid. Sometimes my wife, she acts very stupid. My wife sometimes acts very, very stupid. Immature. And I say to myself, I have patience with the woman. I have patience. Menses, PMS, all these things. I'll be nice. They must defend myself just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let her know. Don't oppress me. I'm letting you go. I'll let you slide. I know you have, menses. You have your thing, the woman thing. No, don't oppress me. Right? So women have the natural thing that goes with her. But when she's not in her menses, woman naturally, her natural state is what? She wants to be a nurturing woman. So how you come to Salafi Dawah and now you become harsh and shadid? Many sisters are like that. Many sisters like that. Many sisters like that. Don't want to get salams to other women. Everybody's an innovator. Come shadid. But before you was a Salafi Dawah, you was nice. That is Islam. The good manners, that is Islam. That is Islam. Met a sister before, talking about she wanted talaq from her husband. What you want divorce from your husband for? Oh, the guy is not Salafi. He's not Salafi. La bus. I haven't seen nowhere in the Sharia your husband has to title himself Salafi. Is he Akhul Qubur? He worships the graves? No. If he's committing shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, she says no. He prays 5 times a day? Yes. So why you want divorce? There's no legit excuse when you give a divorce. Oh, he's not Salafi, and he got some friend from his country who was a Shia. I said, do he hold those Shiite beliefs? She says no. Do he go to the guy with Shiite masjids? She said no. So why he talk to the guy? Oh, he's from his country. They're from the same village. He hang out with him every day? No. So, hey, what's the harshness with the guy? If you want your husband to come to Salafi Dawah, you should have good manners with him. I told her this. You need to have good manners with him. If you want him to come to Salafi Dawah and you being nasty with the guy, how you going to listen to you? You see, he doesn't understand maybe everything about Islam, but how he's going to come to Islam. How he's going to come to the Sunnah. If you're harsh with him. And that's for the women. Because many sisters, they come to Islam, they come to Salafi Dawah, and it's like a part of initiation. Come to Salafi Dawah, I have to have bad manners. I have to have bad manners with everybody. That is not Islam. That is not Salafiyah. Same thing with the men. The men, sometimes I don't know who's worse. The men or the women. Sometimes I don't even know who is worse. Sometimes I don't even know what is worse. Even Shadid Muhammad, I asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give this brother, make his heart salim, sound, because he's hurt. If you ever hear this or hear this video, while I was heard from the brother, he is hurt, severely hurt. These people's hurt him, damaged him. Maybe he doesn't realize it. But when he talk about them, sometimes he's very harsh. We talk about these people who follow Salafi pubs and their bad manners and how he addressed them. It's like how we do our black people in our culture, how we address somebody as our enemy in the streets. This is not Islam. Even though they're rude. You not think that people was rude to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? He still had good manners. Even the disbelievers was rude with him. Look at the things he used to do to him in Mecca before he made the hijrah to Medina. As one of them put dung on his back. You didn't hear the hadith of the Yahud when he told the Prophet sallallahu Samu alaik. Samu alaik. Poison be upon you. Samu alaika. Poison be upon you. Look what he, and Aisha, and he says, wa alaikum. Wa alaikum. And Aisha radiallahu anha, Aisha, she heard this Jew say this, arguing. She arguing. She took to the Prophet. Did you hear what he said? And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the best manners, best akhlaq. He said to her, do you hear what I said? He said, the same thing be upon you. And he kept it moving. So Shadid Muhammad, are not the brothers who follow Salafi pubs, are they not at least Muslims? Are they not Muslims with bad manners who need to be educated and dealt with in a just way? Look at Ahlu Ilm, the people of knowledge. And the people of knowledge not restricted to Saudi. We understand this. But the Ahlu Ilm that is known for knowledge, that have good manners, when people who are ignorant come to them, how do they address the issues? How do they deal with them? Or they not be lean? Does not be lean, be rifq, be muhabba, be nasiha, salima, huh? And in some cases, the shaykh being soft, be kind. In some cases, he must be a little rough. And the purpose of being a little rough or rough is to let the know the person Maybe he is ignorant, not ignorant, but maybe he is very stern in his manners or bad manners or his incorrect position. After some time, maybe he's talking to him. He understands this person, the way he's dealing with this person. He has show some type of harshness or severeness in his speech. Let him know to get the point across. But in general, he is kind. He is kind. Shadi Muhammad, you don't see the advice Sheikh Al-Albani rahimahullah gave to Sheikh Rabi'a? Was he not kind and nice in his advice? That's for those who know Arabic language. Was not Sheikh Al-Albani did give some advice to Sheikh Rabi'a in the past about certain things? Was not Sheikh Al-Albani rahimahullah kind and nice and wisdom with his advice? Now that's Sheikh Nasruddin Albani to another big Sheikh, Sheikh Rabi'a al-Madkhali, Hafidhu Allah. Was he not nice and kind? Huh? This is Islam. Look how the ulama get involved in things and deal with people. Even though Salafi Pubs have many mistakes. Many mistakes. And even at times, me and the people, the blind followers who follow them, many times, me personally, I can't deal with them. Many times, the way that their behavior is so bad, and their attitudes are so bad, sometimes it's very hard to deal with them. But you still need to be just. You still need to be patient. It's very sad, even today. It's sad. I work in the masjid, and sometimes certain brothers who claim Salafi Dawah, they come to the masjid. Not rarely not in the masjid. I see some. You know how I know them? It's not about the jalabiyah, their pants, or their bow, the jalabiyah, the thiyab, their clothing. It's not about it being above the ankle. That's not how I know who they are. Because your pants above the ankle and the jalabiyah above the ankle is something from the sunnah. The people of the sunnah do. We know how I know? These brothers upon the Salafi dawah of Salafi pubs and their associates don't smile with people. They don't smile. They don't smile with people. They don't give people salams. They don't even want to shake people's hand. When people smile with them or put their hand out and shake it, they reluctant to shake that person's hand. They think this is Salafiyah and harsh and mean looks. That has nothing to do with Salafiyah. That is part of al-Hizbiyah. That is part of being al-Ghulub wal-Shadid. كما قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم حرم على النار كل هين واللين والصحن قريب للناس. So those who talk about Salafiyah, do you understand this hadith? Do you understand this hadith? حرم على النار, forbidden for the fire. كل هين, easy going with yourself first. Layin, soft, easy going, speaking with people. Sahal, easy going, soft with the people. Qarib al-nas, sahal, wa qarib al-nas, easy going with the people. People go approach you. You are approachable. You are approachable. That is Salafiyya dawah. That's from the hadith of the Messenger of Allah. Sahal, qarib al-nas, easy going, easy for people to approach you. That is a hadith of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. That is Salafiyah. So Salafiyah doesn't mean, hey man, I gotta be harsh with the people, frown, mad all the time. And the people at fault is their callers. Their callers at fault. The imams in the community, their callers, Abu Khadija, these individuals, all of them are at fault because they don't want to propagate these bad manners and etiquettes amongst those people who's claiming to follow them upon that methodology. And they're not the only ones. Salafi pubs are not the only ones with this traits. There's other groups who claim Salafiyya with this trait. And that has nothing to do with Salafiyya. These bad manners and harsh with the people has nothing to do with Salafiyya. Do you think that's the way of the student of knowledge? Majority of you are not students of knowledge. And this is being very blunt. Majority of you who follow Salafi pubs, you are not students of knowledge. What uli man you sitting with? What books are you reading and understanding the Arabic language? Somebody say this is the bidayah fi talab al-ilm. Somebody say this is the beginning of talab al-ilm. Yes, I can say this. But you're not a real student of knowledge. So why you have this sternness? Sometimes the shaykh is going to have a sternness. A real strong student at some times is going to have sternness when he's dealing with people. So people can understand, okay, he's not a joke. Not to step over him. That he's not here to play, he's here to teach. And then that doesn't mean he has this face or this attitude always. It doesn't mean that. Eventually you're going to have to smile with people. Shake hands with people. You're going to smile with people. You're going to shake hands with people. How are you going to be harsh and stern all the time and have this way on your face that you're not approachable? So you think people are going to come to you with their problems if you're not approachable or you don't look like you're approachable? And I know what I'm talking about because I used to be like this. I know exactly what I'm talking about because I used to be like this. And somebody told me one day many years ago, brother, you don't look approachable. Somebody told me this. You don't look approachable. One of my spouse told me this. You don't look approachable. Your face, you got this mean look on your face. You're not approachable. I said, that's benefit me so women don't harass me. Tell her this. Jealous woman anyway, right? So women don't harass me. But what she said is the truth. You're not approachable. The Messenger of Allah said, Sahal, Qarib al-Nas. That means you're easygoing to people. It's easy for people to come to you and talk with you. Some people that have this stern look because they don't want people to come and ask them things and people to come talk to them because people are going to see where their level is at. People are going to see how much they don't know. So even I work in the masjid. When they hire me, I told them straight up before they even hire me. I said, you should hire somebody else. And I told them the type of qualification people they should have. But I said, I don't have that qualification and I don't have qualifications. I'm able to do this. I'm not able to do that. So if you hire me, you know what you're getting. So you can't complain at the end of the day. And people know you have to know your bounds. And your limits. And the first thing I did when I went to the masjid I work in is deal with the people. Talk with the people. Sit next to them. Don't go hide in my office all day. Ask them their children's name. Ask them their father's name. These in the hadith of the Messenger of Allah, when he really liked the person, he asked them their father's name. I asked them their father's name, where they're from, their family members. Call them by the name of their children. Ask them how their children are doing. Talk with their children. Teach their children. Show their children love and discipline. That is Salafiyya. That is Islam. So when people have problems or need your help, I'm approachable, they're going to come and ask. And then when I need their help, I can't be, I'm Salafiyya by myself, I'm harsh with everybody, I never need no help. Yes, I need help. Me personally, yes, I need help in my community of the people. Community is not a one-man show. So when I need help, the masjid needs help, I'm the approachable imam. He helped me. When I need help, let me help the masjid now. Let me help him out now. Imam has some shortcomings, but because he's easygoing with the people, I'm going to help him. Because he gave me good reminders, going to help him. He helped me with my children, I'm going to help him. I'm going to sit down and take his advice. So if you harsh and you claim you Salafi and you just, harsh everybody, you stern, you following Salafi pubs, understanding of Islam. And I've been there, done that. I've been there for many years with Salafi pubs, following that trend. As the other video I made, believe yesterday, I talked about that. Or during the weekend, I talked about that. About Salafi publication, how Salafi is understood by those in America or in the West in general, in America specifically. It's not Salafiyah. That is not Salafiyah how we understand Salafiyah in America today. Being harsh, criticizing people. That is not nothing to do with Salafiyah. And about Salafiyah, you understand Salafiyah by being a student of knowledge and following the madhab or the madhahib of the Salaf al-Salih. That's how you be Salafiyah. Not by what Salafi pubs say, by what Abu Khadija said. And I said Abu Khadija has good with him and he has bad. And I can't knock the man with everything. Take the good, leave the bad. But personally, at this time and point in my life, I have no need for Abu Khadija or Salafi pubs. Because the books are in Arabic. The ilm is in Arabic. The ilm is not in English. It's not there in English. The deen is not here in English. The deen is in Arabic. This is the deen. The deen, you want to understand deen, you want to understand Islam, you want to understand Salafiyah, this is where it's at. In Arabic language. And this has happened to be a fatwa. Some of the best collection of famous fatwa of Sheikh Fawzan. But that's where the ilm is at. That's where you're going to find Salafiyah at. So it goes on to all the sisters and all the brothers, specifically the women. Because somebody sent me that message and it kind of hit me. Because the person wasn't like this before. That's the key. The message I said, somebody sent me a message and I knew the person wasn't like this before until they start getting mixed with Salafi pubs. Salafi pubs clique, associates, how they think Salafi dawah is. So the brother start wearing his pants above the ankle, and he think that along with that is the sunnah, but along with that is the bad manners, the harshness. He think that's part of Salafiyah now. When it comes to Salafi, I must have this akhlaq and this manners, aswa, su'al akhlaq. Very bad manners. Huh? Look, another example. Another example. Even with the sisters. Now, a sister, the women are weaker than men. And in the Western society, the women are attacked, I believe, more than men. In the Western society, first of all, why the women are attacked more than the men in Islam in the Western society? Well, let's be real. If we were in the street, I live right here in New York, the men, I can't tell they Muslim. I go outside every day and people, I walk behind me, some guy, I'm looking at him, looking at me, he turn around and say, Assalamu alaikum. I can't even initiate the salams because I can't even tell the guy is Muslim. So he has to initiate the salams with me. Because you see, I have the leh here. I dress like this every day. I wear this outside. So he has to give me the salam because I can't tell he's Muslim. He's just like everybody else. So when he give me the salams, I return it to him. But I don't know he's Muslim initially. Now, the Muslim woman, when she in the street, I can tell she's Muslim. I can tell from the distance, here comes a Muslim sister. How I know? By the hijab. By the hijab. So we live in a society where it's a feminist society, capitalist society, and feminist society, and mulhid, atheist society. So all that is compound on our sisters. And they're ignorant about Islam, first and foremost. I don't care how much hijab they wear, if they're muntaqiba, if muntaqibat, if the sisters, they wear a niqab, we're all black, they're all attacked in this society. First of all, this is a feminist society where it wants the woman to compete with the men. And in Islam, the woman can't compete with the man. Can't compete, meaning the livelihood out there in the streets with him, competing with him in the street, on the workplace. This is not part of Islam. So the sisters, they're chasing their emotion and not their needs by finding this Western society system, this feminist system that destroys the home. That's why in America, Trump, who's racist, he knows, the racists know, they're not producing like blacks and other minorities. They're not reproducing because they women are affected with the feminist agenda. So they're not having 3 kids and 4 kids. They woman is in the workplace. So the society is raising their children, not the mother. So this is one of the effects of them in their disbelief. So you have the Muslim women chasing this, right? So she got that on one end, in her face, in her brain. She's learning in school. She's picking up from her parents. She's picking up from society. She's picking up from TV. She's picking up from other women, Muslim and non-Muslim. She's picking it up. I hear it every day when the sisters have marriage problems. They come to the masjid all the time. That's my money. My house. Beiti, Siyarati, Beiti, my degree, my space. I hear, you met me like this. Why you want me to change? Because you're doing what's haram, sister. When you met me in haram, that means you're going to stay in this excuse for you sinning the rest of your life? And I'm talking about from marital experience, people who come to the masjid with marital problems. This is why I'm hearing from the sisters. And a lot of them claiming Salafi dawah. And I always tell them, how you Salafi, but you disobey your husband? You're Salafi, but you have the most disrespectful manners towards your husband. What part of Salafi dawah is that? Who taught you? And they think this is Salafiyah. Right? So our women, they're affected with all of this. These bad manners from the disbelievers, this feminist stuff in their brains, which is part of the feminist agenda. They have it, and it has infiltrated the Muslim community, and our women, our community, whether they're Salafi or not Salafi, is there, exploiting themselves. Feminist is what? Exploiting yourself. Exploiting what Allah gave you. That Western women idea is destroying you. So they have that. And on top of that, you have they learn the manners of Salafi pubs. On both of that mixed together. That's why that's why we have a lot of divorces. I have brothers right now who got jobs, who are working, got an education, working. They don't want to marry no sisters from these communities. They be hitting me up in my, I could open my phone and show you these brothers hitting me up with text, asking me, do I know any women? I know any sisters they can marry in the community where I'm from. Because they know that the community where I'm from, I tell them is multicultural. Or maybe they could get hooked up with somebody who's not black or Hispanic from the Salafi pubs. Even though some of them following it, they don't even want to marry the sisters from it. Huh? Even though they follow the mentality of Salafi pubs, but they don't want to marry their women. And they ask us why you don't want to marry their women. The manners. The manners. It's the same thing. And they're treating the husband with the same thing. And that is Salafiyah. Plus, on top of that, the feminist agenda is mixed. Then you have the other sisters. Salafiyah. I want dawah to Salafiyah. I'm on the hawk. But I don't want to get married. I can't even talk about that topic right now. I got to go bring some adillah and stuff to really address that issue. We got women like that. Talking about a Salafi. They are Salafi. They don't want to get married. Salafi pubs click. Don't want to be married. Why not? She got bad manners. And she's going to turn around and say, oh, the men got bad manners too. And have social problems. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. That's a real big, I can't even open that up right now. I don't even got the time. It's like another 2 hours talking about that. Then I got to go get books and stuff too, actually, to really address that issue, the marriage issue, and even amongst our community. Salafi pub, understanding of Islam, or Salafiyah, it's not addressing these issues. They're making it worse. They're making actually things worse. Even myself, I don't even want to marry nobody from there. Me personally. And I'm not married to nobody from that Salafi pub mentality. Because I know at the end of the day, when I have my kids, it's not going to produce nothing with my children. Even myself now, I've been Muslim since I'm 20 years old. I'm 39. I've probably been seeking ilm now Maybe the last 10 years, maybe last 10 years, traveling. And I told myself, these sisters who follow Salafi pubs cannot even help me in this. See this? They can't even help me in this. This is where Salafi is at, right here. You see this right here? You see where I'm pointing at? That's where Salafi is at. Right? It's in this right here. This is part of Salafi Dawah right here. You see the stuff I'm pointing to right here? All of this. Oh, there's more books up here because it's very high, this thing. And all down here in my other room. A sister from Salafi pubs, she don't even know how to dress something like this. I'm going to tell you what she's going to do. For somebody won't be a student of knowledge, going to complain. She's going to complain about that. And this right here is a very few books. Anybody, brothers know about books, they're going to say this is very few books. Our sister going to see from Salafi pubs, it's too much books. They're not even here. They're not even here. They're not even into seeking ilm. They're into trends and fad. They're not into this. I met a sister, wallahi, I met a sister online. And Allah is my witness. Her father is a da'i. He even got tazkiyah from Sheikh Rabi'a. Hafidhu Allah. He has tazkiyah from Sheikh Rabi'a. Hafidhu Allah. Where you think the girl is learning from? Look at the social ills and the backwardness of Salafi pubs and they follow her. Who she propping up or who she learning from? CDs and internet from Hassan Samali and Abu Khadija. And her father has tazkiyah from Sheikh Rabi'a and they put it on the internet in some of his lectures. And one day she gave me some advice. She see something I post on my website and I said, you're backwards. Your father's a sheikh who has tazkiyah from Sheikh Rabi'a himself, who's a graduate from Medina University. He's not known in the brothers in America. The brothers in America don't even know who he is. They live in Canada. And he's not African American. He's like, they mix. They're like Arab and African, like Arab African. And I said to the sister, your father's a sheikh. Why you worrying about Hassan Samali? He no sheikh. Hassan Samali no sheikh. Abu Khadija is no sheikh. How you following this trend in America with Salafi Dawah is? And your father is a sheikh. Your father is a sheikh. He had to ski from Sheikh Rabi'a and some other sheikh. I said, what did your father tell you about seeking ilm? He says, go this route. She doesn't want to go the route that he told her she needs to focus on. She likes to hear that. She likes to hype from Abu Khadija and them and they followers and they clip. And that is not Salafiyah. So our sisters are getting messed up. And I said to myself, man, listen to, I'm really feeding to what the sister is saying to me. And I'm really saying, yo, our woman is messed up. And many brothers don't want to marry them. Because Salafi pubs, their attitude, their understanding of Islam is making the issue worse and not addressing the issues. Me personally, I can't even marry no one from there. Even if I wanted to. Even if I personally, if I wanted to. Because I like to marry somebody from my own background. Me personally, because my wife, me and my wife is two different race. I like to marry somebody who understands my culture. Even though my wife is from the Middle East, I understand her culture and everything more than her. Even when she give me problems, I just open up these books right here. And I tell her, listen, you born Muslim, you have an Islamic education background, you should know this better than me. Read what they say here. And it ends arguments in my marriage sometimes, ends problems sometimes. I just go get the books, and we arguing for a day, and then I tell her, you a believer or you just a hypocrite? Here it goes, here it goes. If I say something wrong, show me in the books where I'm wrong. I tell her all the time. She go hit me up with this stuff. Shit. I say, okay, I gotta submit to her hawk. I tell her, same thing with you. I can't do this with the sisters from here in our culture, from Salafi Pub. I can't get it. They can't do that. They can't do that. You get in the proof and evidence. Wow. No. Wow. I'm saying what Allah and His Messenger said. She's gonna tell me what Sheikh Ubayd said. Not even what Sheikh Ubayd said. What she heard somebody said Sheikh Ubayd said. Not even what the Sheikh said. What she heard somebody said, Sheikh Ubayd, for example, said. Their marriages don't work. Their marriages don't work, and they're not learning. So Salafi pubs don't even benefit these sisters. They make them worse. Philly, I ain't gonna talk about Philly. And let them brothers who live in Philly address those issues. Because I had married before somebody from Philly. And in Philly, personally, per se, Philly, I think they have, in the U.S., from the Muslims in the U.S. and Salafi community in the U.S., I think they have more opportunities. I think, personally, in the West, in the Salafi community, I think Philly could be a model. Could be. Listen to the words. It could be a good model if people are more sincere and we focus more on the women. Because I haven't been anywhere, traveled any country, anywhere, I haven't met nobody from Philly then. I haven't been to no country, or any place to seek knowledge, and I always see somebody from Philly from there. MashaAllah tabarak. So, they should be able to, inshallah, hope they be able to work out some of the issues they have there. Because they have a lot going for themselves. And I hope they address issues about having institutes for women. Because our women, they need it. Because how sisters, I had to make this video because I be seeing sisters. They be coming to Salafiyah according to how Salafi pubs understand it. And before they were Salafi, very good manners. Very lovely hearts. Now they become Shadid. Shadida. Huh? She becomes Shadida. She becomes very harsh. These women becomes very harsh now. Very bad manners. No more lovely hearts. And then in your household, you think you want to have Islam in the household. No. This is not Islam in the house, even in this community. In that community, Salafi pubs, Islam in the house? No. Salafi Hizb in the house. Hizb. And I'm going to show you how their mentality mess up the women and mess up even the brothers. There's a lot of them. They get to say about making hijrah. And hijrah is something from Islam. Maybe that's another video of this topic. But they go and make hijrah. And they live in places in like Egypt, Saudi, Morocco. And guess who they still listening to right there? They still listen to Abu Khadija. They still listen to Salafi pubs. And they have sometimes in the neighborhood and in the community, sheikhs, ulama. That's how far their ignorance takes them. When they go travel now outside their country with his mashaykh, they still following the ignorant trends of Salafi pubs. I met a sister before, and I'm like, yo, you got a sheikh where you live. Why are you worrying about somebody in America solving your problem, some du'at who didn't finish nothing, and you got an alim where you live, in the village where you live, there's a sheikh right there. And you know what's the answer? I don't know Arabic. I said, how long have you been here? What, a couple of months? 2 months? I make excuses now. See, me, a Muslim, give the Muslim his haq. Me, personally, give the Muslim his right. You've been here, what, a month, a year? I mean, a month, 2 months? You got an excuse not to know Arabic. But 4 years? 5 years? No Arabic? Then what you doing there? Everybody who makes hijrah is not going to be a student of knowledge. Let's get this out the way. Everybody who makes hijrah is a muhajir. And not into talibul not a talibul They're not a student of knowledge. Everybody who makes hijrah is not into student seeking That's understood. But when you have issues now, how are you going to go to the guy who's ignorant, who didn't finish nothing, who don't got no and you got known scholars in your country, the country you're at now, in the city that you live in, and you got other brothers and sisters who speak Arabic, and you don't go to the mashayikh and get your problem solved. You have to go look for Dawud Adib. I heard that a lot. I've seen that brothers too. Living overseas, studying with Sheikh, talking about Dawud Adib, give him some advice. Dawud Adib, he had to ask Dawud Adib a question. I'm like, yo, brother, you studying with a Sheikh right here. How you ask Dawud Adib? Why you gonna ask Dawud Adib? And I'm not gonna put Dawud Adib. I'm not gonna throw the brother under the bus, as Shadid Muhammad said he flip flop. And I'm going to leave it there. I know why he said that. But I met a brother and I was in Egypt. Studying with Sheikh Hassan. He going to go worry about what Dawud Adib got to say back in America. I said, how can you study with this Sheikh every other day? Look at the Salafi pubs, the people in their mind. Look how they think. And this is a lot of them. Even you go on Facebook, you can find brothers. There's a brother, he was arguing with me before. Like 2-3 years ago, he was arguing with me about Abu Khadija and some dudes in Philly that be refuting people, and I told the brother, I don't care about these guys. They're not only mad. Oh, brother, how you gonna disrespect our du'ats? How you gonna respect our du'ats? You disrespect them like that. It's okay, man. Go seek knowledge. Go learn from the ulama. I think I posted here on my page the conversation that me and this guy had. I wanted to post it. I didn't post it. I wanted to post it. Before I post these things, I go back and look and see what these brothers are doing now. Right? So I didn't post it on that page. I went back. Guess what the brother went? Man, the brother's studying overseas now. He's in Saudi studying. Guess what he got on his page? He's still quoting Abu Khadija. He's studying in Saudi now. He's in a university. And he's still quoting Abu Khadija and Salafi pubs. Juhal. So it goes back. Where are the people, where their minds are at? Where their sincerity at? I think some of these peoples, they are sincere, but it's corrupted. I think a lot of these brothers and these sisters, they are sincere. Me personally, because the ignorance is so rampant with them, I believe they are sincere, but they are ignorant. They sincere because they be going hard with this stuff. And you can't say they're not sincere, but their sincerity lies in the wrong individuals and peoples. The sincerity is not falling back into the book of Allah and the sunnah of the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So our women and the manners, you know, the manners. If you was Muslim and you came to Salafi and you was born Muslim, or you had a Muslim family and you was practicing Muslim. I'm not talking about those people who came to Salafi and was not practicing Muslim. Who was Muslim but not practicing. I'm talking about those who came from good family, good Muslim parents, or when they converted to Islam, they had that hippie mind setting. I call the hippie Muslim, and I mean they happy, very happy, good manners, happy. But you come to Salafiyya now, and now you come shadid. You're harsh to people. You no longer have good manners. It's like, you know, I don't want to say it, but there's a hadith of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam talk about the person who becomes a Yahud. He gets the curse of the Yahud. Right? This is a hadith. Maybe later on we'll go search it. I'll probably link it to the comments to this video. But there's a hadith about the one who becomes a Yahud. He call upon himself the curse of Allah because Allah cursed the Yahud. Right? I'm not saying Salafi pubs is like this, but it's like anybody who comes part of Salafi pubs, it's like automatically you have to now have bad manners, criticize everybody who's not part of your clique or go against your clique, criticize everybody who's a deviant, but don't know how to call them to the haq, don't understand the sharia yourself. Every ignorant can make a stance against somebody with no proof. Have the bad manners. Go back to the bad manners. I'm going back to the bad manners. The bad manners. Everybody got to have the ill manners. Call people names. Call people out of their names. Call people stupid. And how I know? Because many of us, including myself, used to follow them. The purpose of seeking knowledge is removing out yourself ignorance. So it's like you're taking off the cloak of ignorance. Remove out yourself ignorance. So a person can be saying they Salafi or come into the Salafi minhaj and understanding the method of the Salaf. Now they have all the bad manners. They pick up all the bad traits. Everybody is a deviant. Everybody is a hizbi. Everybody is a ikhwani. Everybody is a khutabi. And so on and so forth. Everyone got some mistakes except for you. Sheikh Rabi is infallible. That's like part of Salafiyya, Salafi pubs, understanding of Salafiyya. Sheikh Rabi, hafidhullah, he's from the Kibar al-Imam, but he is now, Sheikh Rabi is infallible. Anybody who criticized Sheikh Rabi from the major scholars, I'm not talking about people who are deviants, from the major scholars who criticized him or gave him some advice, no one could do this. Whatever Sheikh Rabi says is not the stance of Salafiyya. Who said that? Where you get this from? Majority of the people you found on Facebook or in these clips about Sheikh Rabi, yo, show me his mistakes. Show me where he made it wrong refuting people. People say this about Sheikh Rabi. He shouldn't, the Sheikh, he's from the major scholar, but he don't have no mistakes. He's infallible. And the people going to say, okay, show me in his refutation of people that where is his mistake. Then somebody who's going to use their brain and say, okay, the people that he refute, majority of them were his students or people that he gave them some type of tazkiyah. If you think Sheikh Rabi is infallible, then you can say the people that he criticized in his refutation, many of them or a lot of them were once his students or people he gave tazkiyah to. Did he not give tazkiyah to Sheikh Yahya al-Hujari? Did he not tell people to go to the Manhaj and study? The Manhaj only got proper, not from Sheikh Muqbil. The Manhaj to us right now, as us speaking today, was famous from Sheikh Rabi'a giving tazkiyah to the Manhaj. That's why us in America, why we went there. Because if Sheikh Rabi didn't say it, we wouldn't go there. So we're going to say that Sheikh Rabi, he's infallible. This is part of now Salafi Dawah. The whatever Sheikh Rabi say, that is part of the Salafi Dawah. Now we respect Ahlul Ilm. Respect the proofs in the Hujjah. It's something haram, and it's haram. It's something halal, it's halal. If somebody makes a mistake in something, and they relate it to the deen, not something there's different opinions about, and the deen, and our minhaj, make a serious mistake, and it's corrected, that is accepted. But though people think he's infallible, there's somebody can say who has brains here, who think, who's open-minded, going to say, then a lot of the people that he do refute, that a lot of them were people that he gave tazkiyah to. I'm not going to knock the sheikh for that, because all that could be to me as a sign that the sheikh is open to people. He's open. But somebody who don't like the sheikh could really turn around and say, hey, yeah, everybody he refuted, he gave them, majority of them he gave tazkiyah to. And he ends up refuting them. So if you're going to say Salafiyah is restricted to everything what Sheikh Rabi said in his criticism about people, this is part of Salafiyah, where you get this from? Let's go along with this bad manners. This is part of the origin of the bad manners of Salafi pubs. Because now you're measuring people by the criticism of Sheikh Rabi. The criticism of Sheikh Rabi. Does not Sheikh Rabi say Sheikh Ali Hassan al-Halabi is a mubtadi'? Did he not say that? And if I'm wrong, somebody please show me the proof where he didn't say that. Did he not say that the Sheikh is mubtadi'? It's not the Lajna and Sheikh Muhsin Abbas. They don't agree. I think Sheikh Muhsin Abbas does not agree that he is a mubtadi'. Yes, he has mistakes. He has errors. So a lot of the bad manners that we picking up, because some things in our mind and perspectives that we have. Whoever the Sheikh criticized, if I don't criticize that person, I'm now a deviant. That is not Salafiyah. And that's part of some of the bad manners that our people have now. Some of the bad manners that us Salafis in America that we have them. Even myself. Sometimes I gotta sit back in myself and my dealings with peoples and people who disagree with me. I gotta sit back before I open my mouth and speak and say something. I sometimes gotta sit back and think, is this the correct thing to say? Because I know even with myself, I might have some traces of them with me. That's why I try to be continuously upon seeking knowledge, so I know what to correct. Some people can't take that. Some of them can't take somebody criticizing Sheikh Rabi. Then if that's the case, for how many years? This has been a part of the bad manners. How many years we build our masjids, our community, kick people out our community, slander people, tabdiyah, consider people to be innovators based upon this idea that Sheikh Rabi'a Hafidhullah, may Allah preserve him, is the Imam of Jar wa Ta'dil. No one wants to talk about that. That's one of the major issues with Salafi pubs and the associates, that they build their whole community, they structure their masjid upon this principle. Let me open up Kitab al-Tawheed. We love Kitab al-Tawheed, sah? Let's open up Kitab al-Tawheed. This is Kitab al-Tawheed. And this is the Shar from Sheikh Saleh al-Fawzan. See, I love knowledge. I love books. I love studying. And I don't read books on my own. A book like this, didn't read on my own. Study with my sheikh who has a PhD. One of my sheikhs from Egypt who has his PhD in Sharia, who is Salafi. I read these books so he can explain things, so I understand. Not to my own understanding, according to the text and how the scholars understand things. So I want to read something. If you build your community and your masjids off the principle that Sheikh Rabi'a al-Madkhali Hafidhullah is the Imam wa Jar wa Ta'dil, and whoever doesn't say this or hold this is a innovator, is a deviant, it is not Salafi, got issues. Now let me read something to you. Looking for this chapter. Close, I'm close. Here we go. So, this is from Kitab al-Tawheed, right? And this is the Shar Kitab al-Tawheed by Sheikh Fawzan Hafidhullah. This is the 2-volume into one. Because the Sheikh has 2 versions of Kitab al-Tawheed by Sheikh Muhammad al-Wahhab. One is the concise, and one is not concise. It's the two volumes. This is 2 volumes into one. As you can see here, in Hindi numbers, this is 2 volumes into one. So here, I want to see what section this is before I start reading. This is Bab Wahid wa Thalathun. This is the 31st chapter. The Babu Qulullahu Ta'ala. فَمِنَّ النَّاسِ مَنْ يَقِذُ مِنْ دُونِ اللَّهِ أَنْدَادًا. From the chapter reciting ayat in Quran. From the people who takes equals or make equals with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alright? So in that chapter 31, no, I'm sorry, it's really in chapter 32, from Bab Qulu Ta'ala, إِنَّمَا ذَلِكَمْ شَيْطَانُ. In that chapter, in a section from the Matan, the Sheikh wrote, وقوله تعالى إنما يعمر مساجد الله فمن آمن بالله ويوم الآخر وقام الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة ولم يخش إلا الله فعسى أولئك أن يكونون من المهتدين. So the Sheikh wrote, whoever, Allah says in the Quran, indeed, those who maintain and build the masters of Allah and those who believe in Allah and the hereafter, they are the one who established the zakat, the salat, and they give the zakat, and they don't fear anything except for Allah, and perhaps they will be from those who are guided. So the Sheikh wrote in his Shar, I'm not going to read everything from the Shar related to this ayat, but I highlighted some things. Those who build the masters of Allah, related to the mushrikeen, related to those who fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and building the houses of Allah, that they build the houses of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala solely for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And for no other purpose. There's another part I want to read, inshallah, I'm looking for it. So those who build the houses of Allah, they are the ones, right? The description of ones who believe that build the houses of Allah are the believers. the description as sifat. Here describing those sifat are those who believe in Allah, the ones who build and maintain the houses of Allah. And they believe in Allah and the last days. And they establish the salah. And they give the zakats. And they have yaksha, a khushu, or khashya. They have khashya. They have this fear for Allah only. And they say perhaps they are the one who are guided. So the Shaykh here is describing what is the description of the believers. Now I'm looking for Masjid Darar. So we understand that the masjid is built for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's not built for any other purpose except for worshiping Allah. And it describes the description of the believer. So the description of the believer, from the actions of the believer who believe in Allah on the last day, one of the description is that what? They're going to maintain the houses of Allah. And they build, the purpose of building the masjid, of building the community, is for Allah. For Allah. For worshiping Allah. So it is for Allah. Then Allah mentioned another ayah in Quran about Masjid Darar. We know about this masjid. There was a masjid that was built in the time of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where the munafiqeen build this masjid to fight the Messenger of Allah. So Shaykh Salih Fawzan Hafidullah mentioned in the ayat that Allah talks about the Masjid Darar, to burn it, to destroy it. Shaykh Fawzan said, he mentioned, explaining the ayat, that Allah commanded the Prophet ﷺ to destroy this masjid because it wasn't built for Allah, for the sake of Allah, for wajillah, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It was built on the purpose of fighting the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the Shaykh Fawzan, he described that anybody who builds a masjid, not for the sake of Allah, for worshiping Allah, from what is from Quran and Sunnah, that there is not an action that is accepted. It's going to be destructive. There's no benefit in it. So let's go back. If you build your community based, your masjid principles, or build based upon Sheikh Ar-Rabbiya Hafidhullah is the Imam wa Jar wa Ta'dil, anybody who goes against this is a deviant or have issues, or Salafiyya is doubtful, then let's look back what the ulama say. They don't see no scholars today being the Imam of Jar wa Ta'dil. So people, many from the Kibar ulama, like the Lajna Da'ima, do not see anybody, and that even includes Sheikh Rabi, as not being the Imam of Jar wa Ta'dil. Then Sheikh Rabi Hafidhullah, he calls himself a critic. And people not to attribute him to being the Imam of Jar wa Ta'dil, and he freed himself from anything that is gulu. So if you're building your community on that principle, the Imam of Jar wa Ta'dil is Sheikh Rabi', and you're sizing people up in your community, and you're building your community based upon that principle, do you think your community and your master is going to be fruitful? It's not going to be fruitful, because you're building your master on a principle that does not come from the Kitab or Sunnah. So if you're rejecting people and you're deeming people to be off based upon that, you're going to have a lot of problems in your masjid. As the Masjid al-Darar, it wasn't built for the sake of Allah, and as Shaykh Fawzan says, anything that's built not for the sake of Allah, this is going to be their end. This is going to be their end. So we're going to say, hey, we Muslim now, alhamdulillah, we're Muslim. And we're Muslim, and we're gonna we accept this thing, this minhaj of Salafiyya, which is the haq, which is the truth. But now we're going to pick up the attitudes of these people from Salafi publication in UK and their associates in America, where their understanding Islam and Salafiyya is warped. It is warped. It is warped. And the Muslims who come to now to Salafiyya through them, they start picking up these bad manners and these bad traits and this bad understanding of Islam and the bad understanding of what is Salafiyya. This is not correct. This is not correct. I'm still looking. Inshallah, another talk, I'll prepare that. Masjid Darar. I look in the index. I really want to read the ayat. I really want to read the Sheikh Shah word to word. But I got to go back and look in the index real quick. If I can't find it, then I'm going to make another video another day that speaks about this. Because something very serious in our community. Kitab al-Tawheed is a book that really needs to be studied by the Muslim. Because even these same communities, they teach Kitab al-Tawheed. I don't think they benefit from it. Wallahi. And in those same community, their du'ats, they teach from Kitab al-Tawheed. I don't see them benefiting in their da'wah. Me personally. I don't know how a person could really study this book, Kitab al-Tawheed by Sheikh Muhammad al-Wahhab, and some of the traits that they have that is ghulu and severe. I mean, do they read these things and it passes their mind? A lot of times when people read stuff and there's things in the book or in the reading that's related to what they're doing that is wrong and incorrect, sometimes when a person reads the book, they always exclude themselves. When they're reading something, Sheikh prohibiting something, they exclude themselves because they think because they're the one reading that book and they're loving that Sheikh, that he's not talking about them. A lot of people, when they start reading stuff and explaining stuff, they think like this. No one is excluded. I'm not excluded. Those who follow Salafi pubs are not excluded. Shadi Muhammad is not excluded. No one is excluded. Looking at the other index, sometimes it's good to have books, if there's 2 volumes, 3 volumes, all separate each volume. Because now I'm trying to look for the index of the first chapter. Because I highlighted a lot of these things, and I just can't find it right now. That might be it right here. Let me see what is this. Something that's important right there. Phew. It's another important chapter. What came in the chapter, Babu Ma Ja'a and Ghulu fi Qubur Salihin wa Yusuruha wa Awthan. Is another good chapter. The chapter in what comes to being extremity, and the graves of the Salihin, and making pictures of them, and Awthan. Awthan has multiple meanings. It means in general asnam, idols, or things that is worshipped other than the law, like tombs and things like that. The Sheikh explained that well in this particular chapter, right? And worshiping from other than the law. How do people end up worshiping these pious people? That's very important. That's very important. How do people who believe in the law, not talking about disbelievers now, how do people who say they believe in the law, subhanahu wa ta'ala, end up being the people who are worshiping the pious people who died? Is due to being extreme of individuals and personalities. But I wasn't looking for that. I have to look for that another time because I've been they really need to hear that. You know, those individuals in these communities who's listening to these things about Sheikh Rabi being the Imam of Jar wa Ta'dil, and they build a masjids and a community based upon this principle, making people deviant, putting people outside the folds of Islam in some case, putting people outside the folds of Salafiyah based upon this principle, building a masjid based upon this principle. For sure, the community is going to fall. For sure. If they don't correct these things, for sure, the community eventually is going to fall. So let me end the video, inshallah. Maybe another time, because I was hoping I had it highlighted, which I probably do somewhere, because I really can't get the second section out, the first volume. Kitab al-Tawheed is really a book that needs to be studied by the Muslim. Man, I'm just looking right now and the benefits, you know, and Kitab al-Tawheed, mashallah. You know, this is a book I think every Muslim really needs to study this particular book, because, you know, the Sheikh Muhammad al-Wahhab, rahimahullah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala really gave the Sheikh a lot of insight about Aqidah issues, Tawheed. Allah has blessed the Sheikh, you know. He really has blessed the Sheikh. And really, for a beginner student in knowledge and beginners in seeking ilm related to the issues of Tawheed and Aqidah, you should really start with some of the books of Muhammad al-Wahhab, because the most majority of them are pretty easy to understand, especially the Matan, because when I'm reading from really is the Sharh, which again, this is a detailed Sharh. I took a lot of notes here. When this, you know, this looking for this section I'm looking for, when reading about the section of Aql Qubur, and this passing through the sections of Aql Qubur, and this passing the section and really pondering upon what's titled, the title, and the text was the content of the text in the book, is about extremity. People who become extreme. How the people end up worshiping other than Allah. How the people who are considered to be were believers or believed in Allah end up worshiping those dead in their graves. This was being extreme. Being extreme. Being extreme. And not being sound in knowledge and being extreme is very destructive upon a person in his beliefs and where he will fall and be in the akhirah. You know, Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah, there's a book talks about some of the mistakes of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. And this book, in I think Sheikh Muqbil introduction, or he writes an introduction to this book. And he's talking about some of the book is, and I don't think the book was written by Sheikh Muqbil. But I think some of the Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah has some commentary or have an introduction about the book. He writes an introduction, and I was one day just randomly reading it online, the Sheikh's introduction. So the Sheikh is talking about some of the mistakes of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, some of his mistakes in fiqh, some of his mistakes that he have, right? Some general mistakes that is known of the people of hadith, they know about. So before the Sheikh tells the people the mistakes, the wisdom of Sheikh Muqbil rahimahullah is that Sheikh Muqbil, he brings all the proof and adillah about being extreme for our personalities. Because he's going to criticize some things of Abu Hanifa. For example, Abu Hanifa rahimahullah says that you don't kill, you don't stone the deaf, or you don't stone the adulterer and adulteress from the people of the book, right? There's some other things that he made, some statements, right? Some mistakes that he have, right? So the Sheikh Mubin knows that many people love Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, and he's one of the Imams. He's one of the Imams of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. And he knows that some people is not going to take this advice or some of the mistakes. So before he puts it in, before he talks or the book talks about the mistakes, he introduced in the introduction about having extreme for personalities and how, be it a gulu for individuals, how it leads people astray. How it what? Leads people astray. So what about the Salafi community in America? We have very extreme, like the view I told you about the saying Sheikh Rabi Hafidullah is the Imam wa Jawa Ta'dil, and that's the view they have, and the view some of the sheikhs or the group of sheikhs that follow Sheikh Rabi, some view they still hold, because I heard this from them years ago, and in these matches that we go to, from lectures that we have, I can name the names of the many sheikh or small students of knowledge or small sheikhs that said these things about Sheikh Rabi, and that we build our masjids and our community based upon these principles, ran people away from Salafiyah based upon these principles, consider people who are Salafi deviant or outside of Salafiyah based upon these principles, and even deem Muslims being deviant based upon these principles, or this principle about Sheikh Rabi, when this is batil. Because Salafiyah is not built upon these principles. Salafiyah is built upon Quran and Sunnah, not upon these principles. So I'm going to end this video, inshallah. I spoke for a long time. I was really hoping I could find this section, because I have so many bookmarks in the book that, and highlights, I really have to sit down and look for this, because I like the explanation of Sheikh Fawzan related to Masjid Darar. Why he mentioned in Kitab al-Tawheed this? Why Sheikh Muhammad Wahab put it in his book? Because if you build a masjid, a community, a masjid, not for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is going to be destructive. It's not for Allah. The ending of it is going to be destructive. And he brings the example of Masjid Darar, because they didn't build the masjid for Allah. They built the masjid to fight against the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So in Philly, in New York, in UK, if you build your masjids in your community based upon Sheikh Rabi is the Imam wa Jawa Ta'dil, your community is going to fail. And at the end of the day, it's going to fail. Your masjid is going to fail. Your community is going to fail, because this is not a principle that is, the ulama don't hold this principle. And Sheikh Rabi Hafidullah doesn't even say that by himself. And some people who might criticize Sheikh Rabi might say, then why Sheikh Rabi say this now? Why didn't he say this in the past? Why didn't he say this 10 years ago? For those who think that Sheikh Rabi, he is infallible himself. People might say, why didn't he come out years ago and say this? And people don't think, if people haven't gave advice to Sheikh Rabi, go look at the advice of Sheikh Muslim Nabad, Hafidullah, who's also from the major scholars. What is some advice he gave to Sheikh Rabi or about what some of the students of knowledge that follow him, what they have fell into. And the results of what they fell into in our communities in America, in our Salafi masjids in America, we are suffering from these things. And that's why we come into the deen, or we come into Salafiyah, and people are not harsh, bad manners, speak ill about people. Very harsh. Very harsh. Everything's a frown. But no ilm behind it. Everything is being harsh at people, but they have behind it no knowledge, no ilm, no talab ilm, no Arabic, no Quran, no hadith, no ilmiya stuff, no knowledge. It's just a bunch of qala wakila. He said, or it was said. He said, she said. That's all they have. And then in the end, our kids are suffering the worst. In the end, our children are suffering. In the end, children are learning Islam. They're amongst the kuffar majority of the day. The Salafi community should be the people, the foremost, upfront people. If you are really on point on Salafiyah, the Salafi people should be coming to you for knowledge. People should be coming to your schools that you build. If you really claim you following Salafiyah as it should be followed, then Muslims should be coming to you. You should be guiding people and guiding the Muslim. You should be the role model and the map for what Muslims should be doing in America and anywhere else. If you really was following Salafiyah as it should be followed and understand it as it should be followed, not following a certain group or party or clique that's claiming Salafiyah. And they build their principles based upon, oh, Sheikh Rabi is the Imam wa Jar wa Tadil, whoever's against us is a deviant. That is not Salafiyah. It's not a principle of Salafiyah. Because we doing this, as Masjid al-Darar, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described it, Allah told Messenger of Allah to burn down the masjid because it wasn't a masjid built for Allah. It was a masjid built to fight the Messenger of Allah. So that's a sign if you build a masjid and its principles is not based upon Tawheed, wa Quran and Sunnah, that is going to be destructive. The ending of it is going to be destructive. It's going to be destructive for the people there. So if you really upon Abu Khadija, Salafi Pubs, Hassan Samali, all these groups, Muslim Richards, if you really upon Salafiyah as it should be, then clean up. Clean up the communities. Clean up the bad behaviors with the Muslims. But first clean it up with yourselves. Because a lot of these brothers, Abu Khadija and them, I was very shocked years ago. I went on Twitter and seen their Twitter page. I was shocked. Musa Richard, very shocked of him. Graduate from one of the universities in Saudi. I looked at his Twitter account one day and I was like, wow, man. All the criticism of people, showing faults of people. And there's a time and place for everything. And Twitter itself is just like Facebook. There's more evil than good. Huh? Twitter and Facebook, there's more evil on Twitter and more evil on Facebook. So you're thinking you have some type of things given dawah, they all should be positive. And if you have to refute or get advice about something that the Muslim fell into, they should give it in the best manners. Because some things that y'all deem mistakes are actually not mistakes. While the people in your clique who have the bad manners, and your callers who have the bad manners, who are on the YouTube, who are on Facebook, got evil manners, cursing, saying filthy words, gonna punch so and so in the face, you don't even talk about it. You act like it didn't happen. But somebody else who disagree with your clique, you're gonna put everything about them, you're gonna talk ill about them. That's it. And Twitter has more evil than bad. And the same guy on your Twitter page reading, you don't think he don't see those hip hop, dumb naked women on Twitter? That's why Sheikh Rabi is not on Twitter. Sheikh Saleh Fawzan is not on Twitter. Sheikh Ubaid al-Jabi is not on Twitter. I wonder why. And you're going to say, okay, Sheikh Rabi is on Twitter, in order to prove that, I can't be on Twitter. Or Uli Master don't be on Twitter. That's their opinion. So I'm going to use Twitter for the give dawah. But you don't think about some of the negative posts you put or tweets you put that doesn't have no effect on the people? That in the reality, the majority, the overall of Twitter and Facebook, majority of it is evil. 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 The majority. So I see your posts, you don't think that person will go to your Twitter account, you don't see the naked women on Twitter? You don't see the news ads that even put on your page that has negativity, naked women, music, movies that come on the ads on your Twitter account? Why don't you make posts or tweets about the negativity on Twitter? The fahisha on Twitter and Facebook. Why you don't make these type of posts? Why you don't make disclaimers on your Twitter account that any ads you see has nothing to do with you? But you're going to refute other people's on Twitter that disagree with you, other people who are Salafi, who disagree with you. You're going to dish stuff out that is not even, they disagree, the thing they disagree with you about is not a sin in the Sharia. What they disagree with you about is not a sin in the Sharia. So what they visit this website, Islamic website? So what? You see a guy, Musa Richard have a tweet, you tweet somebody, oh, so-and-so, I left this student of knowledge because he visited this Islamic website. So what? It's not a hujjah in Islam. That's not a hujjah. That's not a hujjah in Islam. It's permissible you talk about that issue. You left him because he visits some Islamic website that's not deviant, that is not Sufiya, it's not a Rafida, that's not ISIS, it's not Khawarij. You're gonna tweet that out about this brother in your position why you don't like him because he visited his website. Is that permissible? What you disagree with him in Islam, is that a sin in the Sharia? Can you implement the hudud on him? Can in the Sharia court implement the hudud because this brother visit Islamic website that is Islamic, is not Shia, is not Sufiya, it's not calling to shirk. If under the Islamic law he can't be punished, so how are you going to refute him over something that he can't get punished by under the Sharia law? Your brothers, your dawah is sad. This is Salafi pubs. This is the people follow Salafi pubs. Where's the Almiya now? Where's Salafiyya at right now? When it comes to Salafiyya, we talk about people. We talk about something that a person said or did that's not a sin under the Islamic law. Where's your Salafiyya at right now? And the people who follow you, where's Salafiyya right now? Do you really understand Salafiyya? No, majority of us, we don't. So what you going to be? Go by, Sheikh. Some brothers translated in English. Sheikh Saleh Suhaimi Hafidha Allah on a book about being a good Salafi. What Salafi really means. And he talks about the issues that many of the Salafi brothers in America, in the West, in UK, and Canada, they indulge in and they fall into, that is sinful. And that's mistakes. And that is sinful. And that's destroying the community and causing problems between du'ats. Causing problems between family members. You didn't hear Sheikh Saleh Suhaimi went to UK, he talked about there's a couple. And his parents to me, they're not black, they're not white. Indian Muslims or from Pakistan or Southeast Asian. How the brother's an older brother, how his wife hasn't slept with him for many years because he likes one sheikh that some scholars hate. So she won't give him his sexual rights in the bed for like more than a year or a year. Because the sheikh, her husband likes some sheikh that some scholars don't like. Under the Islamic law, the man can't be punished for this. So you're going to commit this sin by not giving him his haqq? That's how serious this stuff falls into. That's how serious this stuff falls into. How deep it gets into, how destroying people's households, their families, their marriages, their children. I said, if you really on Salafiyya, that means that we should be the role model for all the Muslims in America, all the Muslims in the West. We should be the role model. Why you think the scholars in Saudi, now Saudi government, they're not perfect. They're definitely not perfect. They definitely got sins on them. They're not perfect. But they try their best to support the Islam. And they put their money into it. And they support the scholars. So not the best Islamic government, but they're better than a lot of other Islamic governments. Especially them Shiite governments, the Ikhwani governments. Them Ikhwani governments don't even last long. Look at Syria. It's better than the government in Syria. It's better than the government in Egypt. It's better than most of the Islamic governments, maybe in Khalij and the Arab countries and the remaining of the Muslim countries. They're better than them. I'm not saying they're perfect, but they're better than them. They support the Aqidah Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. They might have some errors. So look at the scholars in Saudi. Look at the position they have. Look at the status they have. That's due to their knowledge. Look at the book. I'm here in America. I'm in Harlem. I'm in the hood in Harlem. I got a book by Sheikh Saleh Fawzan. Look at the sincerity of the Sheikh. I don't know what's in the Sheikh's heart. I only could judge by their actions. I can't see it in the heart. But from the actions, I see, good, look at the Sheikh, he's in Saudi. I am Harlem, New York. I'm from Jamaica, Queens, New York. I'm from the hood. Look how the dawah of the Sheikh reached me here in New York, in Harlem. The dawah of the Sheikh. Look at the sincerity of the ulama in Saudi. They set examples. due to their knowledge, due to their sincerity. Look, me in America, I'm affected by the Sheikh's dawah in Saudi Arabia. Never been there. Never seen the Sheikh. But I'm affected by his dawah due to Allah. Spreading his dawah, spreading their dawah due to al-ikhlas. And I'm not saying that the Sheikhs in Saudi, they're infallible. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that Lajna Daima is infallible. But due to their sincerity and their knowledge. Here, me in Harlem, New York, reading a book from somebody from Mecca, or from Riyadh, or from Saudi Arabia. I got his book with me. So that means that he's leading, or they are leading by an example. So if we claim in America that we are upon Salafiyah, should not we be leading the example for Muslims in America? Instead of following Salafi publication, their bad manners that they interjected into the Muslim Salafi community in America? We should be having the schools. Do we have any schools in New York? Did the Salafi community have any Islamic schools? Should we not be setting the trend? Should we not be the role models? Should not be our children the ones who be role models for other Muslims? So other Muslims say, hey, our children need to be like them. When it comes to the book, the Quran, memorize the Quran, hifz Quran. Salafi is not just a word. We just say it. We just say we Salafi. We say we follow the Salaf. We say we Salafi. Are we really following the method of Salaf in our lives, in our marriage, in our household, with our children? If my children don't have a juice of Quran, I have to question. You have to question your Salafi within yourself. If my children are not practicing Islam as they should be practiced, it goes back to individual. Us, I, self. I can't just say I'm Salafi, but at the same time, I'm losing my kids. I'm not setting an example. I know brothers in New York. They want to put their kids in an Islamic school. They have to go to the people who are not Salafi. Maybe from Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, might have some issues. I have to put my kids with them. People should be coming to us to learn from us. People should be wanting to put our kids in our school. If that's not happening and we're not doing that, then the issue is us and how we understand the Salafi dawah. And we have this problem, and we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing because we were following the wrong peoples. We're following Salafi publications. We're following people who can't even call the adhan in a Muslim country. Who can't even listen? You Abu Khadija, Hassan Somali, these people they follow, Bilal Davis, they can't even get a teaching position in the religion in the Muslim country. They don't even have the qualifications to lead even Muslim children or teach Muslim children Islam in the Muslim country. So now they're qualified to teach us in America? Oh man, it's time to go now. People have lost their intellect. People have lost their intellect. When do we use our intellect? When do we take the intellect and use it? You know, in the Arabic language, we have something called النحو عاقل وغير عاقل. This term, anybody study the basics of Arabic language, you're going to understand here this term. Aql means something that has intellect. It's only related to human beings. Ghayru aqil or ghayru aqil, it means things that do not have intellect. So that means in Arabic language, now has English speakers understanding Arabic language, that means al-jamad, non-living objects, also mean al-nabat, plant life, and hayawan, and animals. We are different from the animals, plant life, non-living objects. Even in Arabic language, animals are considered ghayru aql, do not have intellect. Human does. Human beings. Allah gave us a brain. Allah gave us a brain. When are we going to start using it? I really hope, ask yourself, a person needs to ask themselves, am I really following Islam according to everything in the text? What I am neglecting? And do not think a Salafiyya has nothing to do with manners. Wallahi, if you read الكتب في طلب العلم وآداب في طلب العلم, and the manners in طلب العلم, you're going to see everything also related to akhlaq, manners. So when we're going to start implementing these manners, if you can't understand Islam about Abu Khadija, you have some serious problems with the understanding of your Islam. If you need Abu Khadija and Salafi Pubs to understand your Islam, and they're not scholars, and you're not trying to be a scholar, and you happy with that information from them, and they're not scholars, I doubt your Salafiyya. Me personally, I doubt your Salafiyya. I doubt your Salafiyya. If you think the speech of the scholars is dalil, I doubt your Salafiyya. If you think that Sheikh Rabi' Hafidhullah is the Imam wa Jah wa Ta'dil, and I build my community based upon this principle, and whoever is with it is with me, whoever disagree is against me, Muslim, Salafi, disagree with me. Sheikh Salih Fawzan said there's no Imam wa Jah wa Ta'dil. He disagree with it. Are you going to say Sheikh Fawzan is not Salafi? Sheikh Al-Luhidan said there's no Imam wa Jah wa Ta'dil. The Mufti of Saudi Arabia said there is no Imam wa Jah wa Ta'dil in our times now. Are they not Salafi? You doubt their Salafiyya now? And if you think so, then you are flaming, burning Hizbi. If you build your community, your masjid, based upon these principles, or that principle, that Sheikh Rabi is the Imam wa Jah wa Ta'dil, and whoever is with you is with you. Whoever disagrees against you and your enemy, even if they're Muslim or they're Salafi, disagree, you question their Salafiyya or you question their Islam, your community not going to last long. Pretty sooner or later, we're not going to make videos like this. Sooner or later, we're going to make videos using your mistakes as a template of those who are gulu and don't stick to Quran and the Sunnah and their downfalls. You're going to be the template for that, for those discussions in America. You're going to be the template for that. For those people who are really upon Salafiyya, you're going to be the template. For those people who are the enemies of Salafiyya, you're going to be the template. And from weak Muslims who don't understand the religion too much, you're going to be a template. You're going to be a template or the pattern of destruction, because you build your community not upon Qala Allah wa Qala Rasul, but because you build your community based upon that Sheikh Rabi'a is the Imam wa Jah wa Ta'dil. Whoever disagree is a deviant, is not a Salafi, or a question Salafiyya, he got issues. And I'll end with that. And if you like this video, please pass it. Click like, pass it. Some of these brothers and sisters, they need to hear it. Especially these brothers and these sisters who follow Salafi Pubs and got bad manners, got very nasty manners of people. Those youth who come from Muslim families, who have good manners, and end up having bad manners because they follow in Salafi publication, and they think that these bad manners, being shadid, being harsh with people, being rude with people is part of Salafiyya. It's part of Salafiyya. You're ignorant. You don't know nothing about Salafiyya. Please pass my video on to these peoples. And not of them they're not gonna like it. They're gonna hate. They're gonna this, that. Some of them need to hear it. Sometimes you fight a person long enough, argue with them long enough, they're gonna get to them. They're gonna click. When they're gonna get in some hardship. When they're gonna get in an argument with another person just like them, same mentality. They're gonna put them off. They're gonna see something. They're gonna have some issue with them because their principles are built upon falsehood. So they can't even be just with their own selves. Because noticing, they even keep on arguing and refuting their own clique, people inside their own clique, and throwing people off. You don't notice that, right? That's another video. Even the people in their own clique, they even start throwing them off. When they have issue with one of them, when find one of them going to get a certain position or trying to get a certain position, they start refuting them. and getting the peoples they follow to refute them. And that's not part of the deen. Since when you bring the laymen to start refuting people? Since when you start bringing in the laymen in your debates and your fallouts of individuals, you start getting the laymen involved? Since when? What part of Islam is that? You don't see when Sheikh Albani, rahimahullah, the one you say that said that Sheikh Rabi is the Imam wa Jar wa Ta'dil. You didn't hear what Sheikh Albani said when two scholars fall out, that you don't bring this to the layman? You don't bring this to the layman? So why you guys are doing it? So one day when y'all guys who follow Salafi pubs and y'all have a fallout with each other, do it because y'all are laymen, you're not students of knowledge, you're not upon Salafi the proper way. And then if you keep sending my video, you keep hearing talks like the talks I made today, when y'all get in an argument and you see y'all start fighting amongst each other and how they start treating you, then they're going to start listening to some things that people like me we're saying. You're going to start seeing the harshness with them. Even that guy who might listen and he gets a follow with one of them, he might disagree with me, but later on he getting that harshness, you're going to hear a video like me or somebody like me what we said, it's going to come to his mind. They're going to hit him. Man, those people are right. Even though he might be harsh himself, he might turn around and say, man, it's right. You know how I know? Because that happened to me. I used to be like these guys. Huh? One day, somebody hit me in my head one day. I was arguing with some brother, some Caucasian brother studying in Saudi, and he hit me, sent me to talk to Sheikh Fawzan, and I was reading it. No Imam wa Jar wa Ta'dil. I was like, wow, what? It hit me hard. I didn't believe him. I said, where you get that from? You're lying. I want to hear the words. I want to hear the audios from the Sheikh. I want to hear it in Arabic, the audio. He gave it to me. It hit me hard. I said, wow. It hit me so hard. There's no Imam wa Jar wa Ta'dil. I said, wow, man, we built our masjids and our community based upon Sheikh Rabi is the Imam wa Jar wa Ta'dil. And we throw people off based on that. I didn't even believe when I first heard it. I said, nah. Then I turned and said to myself, Sheikh Salih Fawzan, man, but this is the real big scholar. Real big scholar of our time. I was like, that's deep. Wow. It hit me. And one day I was arguing with somebody, and I'm sitting and listening, and I'm thinking, wow, yes, we do have faults. We do have problems. Let me be sincere in my talabul. Let me take the knowledge that I'm for sure about, that I learned, that's from Quran and Sunnah, and start implementing it. And the knowledge that was built upon hearsay and qala wakila, which is qala wakila, wa sheikh yuku kida wa kida, he said, she said, let me start taking that information and put it where it belongs, in the garbage. And start building my knowledge on sound knowledge, prophetic knowledge, authentic knowledge, or true authentic statement, not the website and the book company or Islamic book company authentic statement. No, the true meaning or authentic statement. Al-Quran wa Sunnah wa qawli ahlu an kama qala Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam man ya'ishu sayara iktilafin kathiran fa alaykum bi sunnati wa sunnah ar-rashidin al-khulafa. He said to his companion, you will see much differing. Man ya'ishu sayara iktilafin kathiran. Those who will live, talk to his companion, you will see much differing. فَعَلَيْكُمْ بِسُنَّتِي. Upon you is my sunnah, not Sheikh so-and-so sunnah, not Sheikh Fawzan sunnah, not Sheikh Rabi'a sunnah, not Sheikh Yahya al-Hujuri sunnah, not Sheikh Muqbil sunnah, not Sheikh Halabi sunnah, not Sheikh Albani sunnah, not Sheikh Muhammad Abdul Wahab sunnah, not Abu Hanifa sunnah, not Imam Ahmed sunnah. The sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then he said what? The sunnah Rashidin al-Khulafa, and the sunnah of the right Khalifa. And then one person said, but that's a different sunnah? No, the sunnah of the right Khalifa is an explanation. An explanation. The fahm of the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the sunnah of the right Khalifa is the sunnah and the explanation of the sunnah and the implement of the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And where I get that from? هنا. The books of the ulama, aqlu am, rasik fi am. So you can't study deen without seeking knowledge. You can't be Salafi without being no student of knowledge and not learning Arabic. Have to be busy into seeking help. And I will end with that. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Shadallah wa antum astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayk. As I said, if you like my video, pass it. A lot of these brothers and sisters, we need to hear this.